Hi everybody, I wanted to just do a quick video to show you how I create real basic YouTube Shorts style videos in Sony Vegas 14. Yes, I am using a piece of software that is that old, but it was really cheap to buy and it works for me. We're not going to be going through any advanced techniques such as panning, but I am going to show you the concepts I use so that maybe you can apply these to your particular piece of software you have. So the first thing is that you've got to make sure that your project is set at the right aspect ratio, and it always helps to keep like a blank project, like a template for this. So the width is 1080 and the height is 1920, so that's opposite of what we'd normally use for gameplay, wouldn't it? Normally it would be 1920 by 1080, or whatever it would be for 2K and 4K, like that. And I'm going with about 60 frames a second. Next thing we do is we then get our piece of gameplay that we want to pull in, just remembering that a short shouldn't be longer than 60 seconds, and we pull that in and we drag it in, and it will say something like, do you want to match your project to the footage you've got? And the answer is no, we absolutely do not. We want to keep this aspect ratio we have here that YouTube wants for shorts. And at this point we could then clip the we could edit the clip, and we could move it around if you wanted to, but the basic thing we want to do is we want to make it fill the frame, don't we? So in Vegas 14, what you do is you click on the crop thing here, and then what we do is we click on lock aspect ratio, and then we change the size of the canvas. I think we're changing, so we change this to 1080p, and we change this to 1920, and we click somewhere else, and then we can click lock the aspect ratio again. And then what happens now, if you look in the top right hand corner where the preview is, as I drag this around, we can move it around, and if I zoom out a little bit with the mouse wheel, I can then change the size of the preview to basically fill the frame, like so. And then I could move it right or left to decide which part of the gameplay video I wanted to see. Now probably what I'll do when I do this sort of thing, I'll actually probably make it a bit bigger like that, and I'll have maybe a little bit bigger, and I'll put up with having black borders at the top and the bottom, a bit like a cinema screen actually, isn't it? Like a widescreen you'd see on telly when you watch certain films, because then you're seeing more of the view. Now in your video production software, what you will probably be doing as well is you'll probably be adding pans, so you'll be adding keyframes. Then if you want to follow the action across the frame, it's basically scanning you're doing, you would then follow that across. But this is Vegas 14. I don't imagine that many people are going to be using it, so it's going to be different in Adobe Premiere, Premiere Elements, the latest versions of Vegas and things like that. But that's the basic thing that you would do with a video, and we can close that. And then what we'd want to do next is add a title. So in Vegas 14, we click up here, what we got, insert text media, and we could do something like, I don't know, surviving Daisy, exclamation mark. Let's just give ourselves a little bit more room, and then we can go there, centralize that. Ooh. Centralize that one. It's a little bit too big at the moment, so let's make that, I don't know, 20. There we go. Change it to yellow, like so. Ooh. Let's make it bold. That nice sort of just a basic title. And then what we can do is we could make this not last as long, so let's make it last about 2.5 seconds. So let's just go back to the beginning. So that's okay. Let's just add a little fade out on the title, and so what we could do, let's do a fade in on the gameplay, like so. Let's add a fade out to the gameplay, like so. If we go back to the beginning, obviously you would normally be saving this as you go along. There we go. So that's good. So that's what we're kind of looking for. So our short is basically edited, ready to go. So in Vegas 14, we just select all this, file, render as, and unfortunately, because Vegas 14 is so old, the preset I have to use to render it is this one. So it's a main concert AVC AAC Internet 720 portrait. But what I do is within the preset, I go in and I change this. So the width is now 1080 and the height is 1920, and I don't think it lets me increase the No, I can't increase the frame rate, but I would go with that, and then I say OK. I would give it a different name, test, something like that for this one, and then I just render that, and that will render the short, upload it to YouTube, and then add the title, all that sort of stuff, add a description. That's all good to go. So it's all pretty easy. However, what I will do is I will put a link in the description below the video to maybe a system that may be even easier, which is what you do is you capture your gameplay on your computer, but then you upload it to your Google Drive, and then you download it to your phone from Google Drive, and then you use the YouTube app on your phone to create the short, because it's really simple, really easy to do. Just gives you a different option. The bit that you can skip when you're doing that, you see, is the changing the aspect ratio and zooming in on the clip, because the YouTube app kind of does it for you. You can't do advanced stuff like pans at the moment anyway, but who knows what might be coming in the future. But I think that's an easier way. But as you can see, hopefully some of these things I've done in this video for the most ancient Vegas Pro 14 will have given you some ideas. So if you found the video useful, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.